Steve Youlden. I work for Dubai Racing Club. I've been in Dubai for the last 16 years and I've been doing the outriding for the last 9 years. Well, a typical day at the moment at Maidan, now the carnival start, is depending on GCC slots and the international slots, we start at 4 o'clock. Basically we're here just to check that everything runs smoothly, the ambulance is in place, and hopefully take care of anything that needs sorting out, and any horses that could be a little bit difficult. We're here to help and just give everybody a hand. When I was younger, we moved from Bristol up to Yorkshire, and myself and my brother, we didn't want to move, but my mother said that she would get us riding lessons when we got to Yorkshire, and I started going for riding lessons, ended up working at the stables, and a friend of mine there whose father was a racehorse trainer said he was going to be a jockey, and I thought that seemed quite a good idea at the time and slid into racing. I was at a bit of a crossroads job-wise, and I got to know one of the jockeys that used to come out here when Nad Sheba first started, one of the jockeys called Ernie Johnson, and he said if any job ever came up out here he would put my name forward, and luckily it did, and I've been here for the last 16 years now. I think my dream job would have been to have, in sport, but be able to have made a good living out of any sport. You know, I'm quite a keen golfer, so a professional golfer would have been probably a dream job. One day I was riding a race in Kelso, which is in the borders of Scotland, and I was cantering to the start and the horse ran off with me, and I thought if I ran it down a chute into a rail it would stop. Unfortunately it jumped straight over the rail, ran towards some bushes, and I thought, right, it's about time to get off this horse now. So I jumped off. Unfortunately there was a building site right next to the racecourse, and all the builders who were watching it thought this was hilarious that I had fallen off. The horse ran through the hedge and off the horse went into town, but the sting in the tail was that they caught the horse in the town about 2 miles away, and a 12-year-old girl rode it back. I think the best part is being outside, and also now the carnival started, you meet so many people, get to know a lot of people, made a lot of friends, and seeing people from year to year, so I really enjoy this part of the job. I think the worst part is if we get any injuries on the track, either to riders or horses. That's always, people have put such a lot of effort into getting the horses to the races. If something goes wrong, it's always very disappointing for them. It's obviously disappointing for us, and also the early mornings sometimes are not so good. I think I must have been about 12 or 13. I went to the Grand National with my friend whose dad had a horse box business with a horse called Clear Cut that ran in the National, and for a young boy going to a Grand National, and it was the year that Liscargo beat Red Rum, but to have seen a National in the old days like that was great fun to have gone and been part of it. My favourite horse of all time was a horse called Borough Hill Lad, and this was because I actually did look after Borough Hill Lad for a season when he was a 4-year-old. He won a couple of races, and obviously as people know, he went on to do great things, but he was a great character of a horse. Maidan's great fun to work at, especially in the carnival, but each track's got its own idiosyncrasies. It's nice to go to Sharjah sometimes on a Saturday afternoon, and obviously there's a good crowd at Jebel Ali, so they've all got their good points. The law that I'd like to see abolished would be speeding fines. I'd like to go back in time and come back because you could write all the mistakes you've made in the past. The final meal would actually be an English breakfast.